Namaste to all. I made a video in Tamil a couple of weeks back wherein I had made a reply video to one of the Tamil video which showed about a book written by Stephen Hawking where Stephen Hawking denies the existence of Almighty God. And in that book he has mentioned that matter, energy and space, these three are enough to create this universe. There is no need for a creator. And this universe comes into existence out of fluke or luck. But definitely there is no need for Almighty God to create this universe. When we think from the viewpoint of Sanatan Dharma, when we understand from the viewpoint of Rishi Munis, for example, here Stephen Hawking says that matter, energy and space, these three causes are enough for creating the universe. Whereas from the point of Rishi Munis says at least 6 things are needed for creation to happen. What are those 6 things? Number 1, nothing can be created without time. Number 2, in this world there is no effect which does not need an activity. So for every effect there has to be an activity. Number 3, Rishi says, for anything to be created there has to be a raw material, root cause. Number 4, another Rishi says, for anything to get created, application of knowledge, contemplation, reasoning, science, etc. is needed. Another Rishi says, creation cannot take place without the composition of finer elements. And lastly, another Rishi says, any creation cannot take place without a creator. Just to understand this point, if we have cement, bricks, iron, water, sand, etc., and we keep it at a place, these things does not automatically make a house. We need an alive power. We need a brain. A person has to plan that, okay, this will be hall, this will be kitchen, this is etc. And there has to be laborers who construct the house. So an alive power is needed, that is a maker is needed. So this is how Sanatan Dharma explains to us that this universe creation does not happen by a fluke. This universe creation happens for a reason. Modern science do not have a reason on why the creation exists, whereas if we understand from Rishi Munis, there is a reason for this creation. Because without the creation, the human body cannot exist. We mean souls. Souls cannot live in the human body. So the 6 reasons are, I think you understood. Number 1 is time. Number 2 is activity. Number 3 is composition of elements. Number 4 is a raw material is needed. Number 5 is a creator is needed. Number 6, knowledge is also needed to create anything. The same is applicable even if you want to produce a car, even if you want to produce anything or create anything. I think this 6 is needed. So this is how Rishi Muni defines that the power which combines the composition of elements, which combines the finer elements, the power which creates, the power which uses the contemplation or science or application of knowledge, the power which uses the raw material to convert the raw material into the this finite universe, that power is called as Almighty God. This is how Sanatan Dharma explains about Almighty God. And of course, beyond that, when we understand Vedas in deeper sense, we understand the purpose of human life, the purpose of life on earth, what is karma, philosophy, etc., which I have explained in my previous videos. And also, Stephen Hawking or other people who are atheist people who do not believe in God, they do not understand the difference between energy. There are 2 types of energy. For example, we receive energy from the sun. When you stand on sunlight, you feel warm or hot. That energy is a non-alive energy. And there is something called as alive energy. For example, a person is building a house. The person is using his power. That is, he is Chetan Shakti. He is alive person. He is using his energy. So there is a difference between these 2 energies. The non-alive energy does not identify you are a good person or bad person. If you stand on sun, whether you are a good person or not a bad person, you will get the heat. Whereas an alive person will understand that you are good or bad, what to eat, what not to eat, what to do, what not to do, etc., etc. That is the purpose of the alive Chetan Shakti. This is not clearly identified by modern science. So, as Stephen Hawking says, matter, energy and space is enough for creation of universe. That energy is a non-alive energy, what he speaks about. Whereas he misses the point of alive energy. Alive energy, I mean the Chetan Shakti, which is needed to combine the elements, which is needed to create the universe. For example, we say that a person is dead. The modern science says because his heartbeat has stopped, then this person is dead. Whereas when we see from the point of view of Rishi Munis or Sanatan Dharma, we say that Jivatma has left the body. Even when the dead body is placed, scientifically, artificially, we start the palpitation of the heart by some means. We make the blood to flow in the veins by some means. Then also that person will not work. The eyes will not blink. That person cannot think. That person cannot speak, even though the heart is beating. That is because the Jivatma has left the body. Whereas the definition of Jivatma in science, in the modern science, does not exist. In Vedic science, we understand Jivatma as a soul which lives inside the body, and because of the presence of the soul, the body was functioning. That is the understanding of the Vedic science or the Vedic philosophy. And when we observe the universe, everything is governed by a principle. There is a governing power behind everything. Birth and death, for example, and when we see the people in the universe, somebody is rich, somebody is poor, somebody is happy, somebody is sad, somebody is born handicapped. All these things happens because there is a justifying element, there is a justifying superpower who gives us justice based on the karmas of each individual souls. And when the justice is absent, this world will be in chaos. That is forgotten by people like Stephen Hawking. And when we see the planetary motion, everything is going in order. They don't deviate their path. The moon cannot deviate its path. The sun cannot deviate its path. Everything is going in its path. So that means there is a clear contemplation, application of knowledge by somebody who has made that. It is not by out of fluke that earth is created or sun is created or moon is created. For example, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati asked that, okay, if by fluke this earth got created or moon got created, why there is no two moons? Why there are no three suns? There is only one sun in the sky we see. It's not by fluke that something can get created. And somebody is asking to Maharishi a beautiful question. If you say that there is no effect without a cause, then what is the cause of the first cause? Maharishi says, oh brother, why do you not exercise your discrimination? There are only two things in this world. One is the cause, other is the effect. The cause is not the effect, and when it is an effect, it is not called as cause. So long as a man does not fully understand the creation of universe, he cannot have a correct idea about it. Then one more place he answers from Sankhya Shastra, what is the cause of the first cause? Rishi in Sankhya Shastra says, Mule Mula Bhavad Moolam Moolam. There is no root of the root. Hence the root is rootless. The cause has no cause. The cause of all the effects is causeless. Before the beginning of any effect, there must exist its threefold causes. For example, weaving a cloth can begin only when there exists a weaver, when there exists cotton thread, and there is weaving instruments. Without these three, the weaving cannot happen. Similarly, pre-existence of Almighty God, which is the Chetan Shakti or the alive energy, what I spoke about, and the raw material of the universe, which is Prakriti, based on which, out of which Almighty God creates this universe, and the time, space, and the eternal soul, for whom Almighty God creates this universe. God creates this entire universe for us, for each and every individual soul. He creates this universe. If one thing is missing, then God cannot create the universe, or God does not create the universe. But there is no possibility that one thing goes missing. There is no possibility that time is missing, or space is missing, or souls are missing, or raw material is missing. These are eternal things. So that is how God creates this universe. This universe creation principle has to be deeply studied again and again under the guidance of a learned Acharya. Otherwise, we will never understand the concept of Almighty God. And God does not end, God's activity or God's deed does not end with creation. After creation of universe, God gives the knowledge of the Vedas as told in Purusha Sukta. And God sustains the universe and God destroys the universe in Pralaya, where this universe goes from form universe to formless universe, where formless means Prakriti. This universe is now formful, it will turn into Prakriti, which is formless. And again from Prakriti he creates the universe. This is a continuous cycle, eternal cycle. This is the Vedic Sanatan Dharma to understand the concept of Almighty God. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.